Hello everyone, and thanks for joining me for another devlog for Medieval Life. If you're not familiar, Medieval Life is a first-person life simulator game that I'm making in my own game engine. In the game, you will be able to explore a procedurally generated medieval world, interact with other characters, get a shop, and build your own house. The game is still in an early stage of development, so I first want to establish the visual style of the game before working on the gameplay. For example, since the last devlog I added this sky you see right here. It has a nice soft gradient so I can have a more colorful sky. I think it adds a nice atmosphere to the game. I made a shader to control the color of the sky using a lookup texture. Each vertical band of pixels in the texture is a different hour of the day. I still need to add a day-night cycle to the game, but I think this is a good start. I've been working on improving the environment. In Medieval Life, the island where you play is randomly generated every time you start a new game, so I also started experimenting with cliffs generation. The cliffs will generate in the island, so the player will be able to build houses and visit other houses that are on top of hills or below hills. I want to make the terrain generation more diverse and interesting. I haven't still polished the textures on the laterals of the cliffs. These textures you see in the video are the same matte texture I've been using for the paths, and not the final ones. I will change them in the future. Another thing I've done is to remake from scratch the base character model that I will use for all the villagers in the game as well for the player. The previous model was okay, but it lacked personality. I really want all the characters to have a more cute style without looking childish. That's why I commissioned an artist to make the character concept art. I got in touch with her after checking her work on Instagram. She's really talented and she made this amazing concept art you are seeing right now. I really love the cartoony vibe of her art, and I think it's a great way to make the characters more unique. After she made those designs, I made her 3D models in Blender, and I think they came out pretty well. The idea for the game is that the player will be able to choose any outfit and hairstyle, so I want to make a lot of different 3D models for the outfits and hairstyles and make different texture variations, as they are quicker for me to make than a fully 3D model. I think a lot of the fun for the player is going to be the different clothing options, so I want to plan this right from the start. I'm really interested to know what do you guys think about the style of the characters. I think the bigger heads will leave more room to make more expressive faces in the future, so let me know in the comments what do you think. After that, I wanted to start designing some furniture objects. The objects will be a key part of the game, since all players and villagers will be able to interact with them. I'm thinking of making a bakery oven and a wooden barrel. To make an object, I first start by making a raw draft in paper. After that, I try to look for inspiration on Pinterest or other websites. For example, here I really like the color palette the artist used for this sprite. After that, I tried to get the base shape in Blender and worked on the texture in Aseprite. I tried to use a limited amount of colors. I'm still learning how to model, so I wanted to gain some experience with Blender first and make a consistent workflow. Once I'm satisfied, I make the final adjustment and I export the file as a GLTF file. As I shown in previous devlogs, I wrote a bunch of classes in my game engine to be able to load GLTF files. Finally, I can add the bakery oven and the wooden barrel in the code to the list of objects in the game. And this is how they look in the game. Of course, I need to add the doors for the bakery oven and animations and maybe a fire at the bottom, but I think this is a good start, and I wanted to show you guys how I make the 3D models and what is my workflow. So that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to leave a comment and subscribe to my channel to stay updated about my game. Cheers!